I completely understand when you think that I'm weird. I am weird. I'm driving on a road right now and I'm doing a podcast. I'm trying to reach out to people and connect with them and simply say that they can do it. How many other people do you know that actually does that? And I'm not some motivational guru, all that kind of stuff. I don't view myself that. I'm doing this because I'm trying to build a platform. And I recognized when I started building this that there was this need, there was this group of people that they're afraid to do. First of all, they're afraid to really take the leap, and I can see that in their eyes. This was a big thing. I was like, when I was doing, when I was going to school, when anything that I do, I look at people. I'm like, why aren't you doing this? This is an opportunity to pursue something that is remarkable in your career. And no matter what it is, right? Like going back and getting more education, going and starting a new business, going and venturing off into the unknown, going to a different country, right? We think about these things and we get so afraid in our mind about what we're actually doing and we don't pursue it. And so I thought that, yes, um, there that is the fundamental problem that I'm often trying to address and that I'm trying to get at is that far too many people are looking at the world and being afraid of it. From people that are very close to me that I run into to just a lot of people. They're ultimately just afraid to take that leap and to pursue something. You know, doing this doing a podcast on the phone when we have unbelievable amount of opportunity. Anybody could do this, right? Like that's the thing that is baffling to me is anybody can do this. And how many people do you know that actually do it, right? And have that possibility of maybe 1 in a million times chance that something takes off and it fundamentally changes your life, right? And yet nobody does that. That's the thing that baffles my mind is that we have all of these resources at our fingertips, and yet most of us will just choose to not do it because we're afraid of what other people will think of us. We stop and we think, maybe, and you know what? Maybe it is somebody that's really distant, and then they're going to say, ah, you're a big loser. I've heard that so many times now, and man, it gets me mad when it happens to me. But what's worse is that there's people that are close to you that are telling you that every day. Every day they're telling you that you're a loser, that you can't do this, that they're that what you're doing is risky and stupid and all of those kind of things. And this even within this is the thing that is like heartbreaking. I even see this with all of the academics that study entrepreneurship and innovation, right? Like they are so deeply afraid that they sit there and just study it rather than actually go and do it themselves and be weird, right? Like being weird like this, where I'm this weirdo. I am a weirdo. I understand that. I'm doing something that is really strange, where I'm actually talking to you and pursuing something, building a platform, wasting god awful amounts of time and money, and it reeks on my mind. It just, every day I think, what the hell am I doing here? This is stupid. I shouldn't be doing this. I'm a fool. All of those things. And yet, I'm getting back up and I'm doing it every day. And I think that's what I want you to listen to and to hear is that I get back up and I do it again every day. Right? And the message, and I hope you listen to as many of these as you possibly can, because you'll hear that I am afraid. You'll hear that I feel stupid. You'll hear that I'm embarrassed a lot of the times about doing this. It feels weird. The whole thing feels weird. I don't often want to do it because I am naturally shy. I'm that weirdo person that the only time I actually feel comfortable is when nobody is around to actually speak my mind, or maybe there's three people around, and even then, with three people, I don't feel comfortable. I want you to really internalize what I'm saying is that this feels like a great risk to me. And it is a great risk. I'm spending god awful amounts of time, my reputation, money like you wouldn't believe. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. And yet I'm doing it. And then I think about all of the people that will go about their lives and they'll think, I'm never going to do this. I'm never going to try. Or I had this great idea, but, or, you know, I wanted to forever do this, but somebody told me not to. All of those moments, I think about that as lost opportunities and what could be. Right? I think about whenever there's great atrocities, you always wonder, all of us always wonder, how could that ever happen? Couldn't they just stand up? Couldn't they just say, stop? There's more of those people than there are the people that are the oppressors, right? But everybody collectively chooses to say, well, you know, I could do this, but whatever that but is, they're scared, they're nervous, they're embarrassed. Often in those situations, it's dangerous. They may get hurt. You know, if that's the case in those circumstances, some of that makes sense because yes, you may die in those circumstances, but many people, many people die in atrocities that far outweigh all of that fear that you feel. And yet, we collectively do this with everything many things in our lives. All of these big moments that could be, we say, I'm too afraid to pursue it. I am scared of what people are going to say and do. You know, this is the thing that is mind boggling to me, is that we live in a day and an age where opportunities are more than we've ever had. There's not an excuse that you could ever make to say that, yeah, you know what, I don't have that many opportunities. Even if you're in dire poverty, somebody could walk by and give you the opportunity to talk on a cell phone just by chance, that didn't happen before, to tell your story. That none of that stuff was possible. Right? There's more wealthy people today collectively than there ever were at any given time. And yet, they might bump into you if you're the poorest of the poor and give you that opportunity. And in that circumstance, what can you actually do, right? Like, why is it so scary? The only thing that you can do is to get back up and do it again. Get back up and do it again. It's scary. You don't want to. It's embarrassing. All of those same things that you're thinking right now, why you don't pursue the thing that you really want to pursue. You're thinking that, they're thinking that. What if that really wealthy person walks by, and what if I'm afraid to go talk to them, or they shoot me down, or all those different things. Right? Think about that there's always ways. There's always opportunities. There's always things that you can do. But it's embarrassing. But it's scary. It's things that you think that you shouldn't do. You feel guilty. Begging is considered something that you shouldn't do. But if it's going to change your family, why not? Right? Like all of these kind of things, I want you to think about what is it in your life that you're really afraid of that you're not pursuing? Why aren't you actually pursuing it? Why is it so scary? Why does it have such power over you to not pursue something? I know for me, I am terrified of being in front of groups and speaking in front of groups. It's always been part of who I am. Partly, I was a shy kid. Partly, I was very sheltered. Partly, it's genetics. My dad, if you ever met my dad, you would say, man, he would never talk. Never talk. My mom, very shy in front of large groups. I think about this. Why do these things have such power over us? Why is it that pursuing something that you know uniformly, collectively, is probably a good thing? Building a platform to change the way that we actually do academia, to change the way we do research, even if you try, is a good thing. And yet nobody does it. I'm the one weirdo that's standing out here trying to do it myself. I wish you would hear this. I wish you would hear all of the fears. I wish you would feel what I feel at any given moment, where in the pit of my stomach, I'm terrified. I think I'm stupid. I think that I'm embarrassed. All of those things that perhaps you feel too, or what am I doing? Why am I wasting my kids' potential because I'm spending time on this talking to you? Or why am I prioritizing talking to somebody that nobody's going to listen instead of talking to my mom or somebody that's close to me? Or why am I doing this and instead of spending time of just hanging out and listening and enjoying my life? All of these things are real questions that I have every day. They never go away, no matter how long I've done this. It's always there, but I get back up and do it again. And I want you to think about that. What is it in your life that you're terrified to do, yet you can get back up and do it again? And at the same time, realize when you do it, it's going to look like you talking, doing a podcast in a car, where you're sitting there doing something that looks stupid. Everybody's driving by looking at you and saying, who's this person talking to? Or, any number of different things. This is too tiny for me to do it. I'm afraid to do it. What is it that you're afraid of? And why do you have this view that you either have to think it's the biggest thing in the world and it has to go big? And if it doesn't go big, if it doesn't become the big $1 million thing, then it's not worth it. Why is it that you have this view in your mind? Can you change it? Can you actually do something? Go be afraid every day. Go try. Take care and have a wonderful day.